Hello everyone, I'm Randy Laskowski from Jingle Productions, and I'm here to show you some interactive audio, which is a little bit different than your normal song you would hear on the radio. It's music for a game, let's say. In this example, it is a game of music that is created that doesn't have to necessarily go from beginning to end. It has changes based on whatever the player is actually doing in the game. So things can go too long, they can go too short. It's all dependent on when something happens and whatever human element wants to change the pace of play. That being said, I'm using FMOD Studio to do this. And in FMOD Studio, it is a interactive game audio engine that will allow us to create some interactive audio in some neat ways. And I'll take you through and show you how I did it. So first, you'll notice that this entire game engine here, this audio engine, it seems to be like a timeline like you would see in Pro Tools or something like that, but it actually isn't. It has individual states that we are going to go left to right. We have the intro game music, the transition going into the game world itself, and the game world is where most of the magic happens, which you can see here. And then finally, that will transition once we're done in the game to the ending music. Now in the game world there are 4 paths, and all 4 of those paths have a general flying around music and a bonus round. Before that though, we have this, which is the intro music. The intro has 3 loops, a 7 measure loop, an 8 measure loop, and a 5 measure loop. And using this blue bar at the top, you'll see that the audio is consistently looping each layer so that the 8 measure loop of chords will play longer than the 7 measure loop of melody, which will cause the melody to play at a different time over the chords every time you hear it. It's a kind of cool audio phasing effect. Here in the game world, there's a lot of loops, obviously. It's a game world that could go for 1,000,000 years or go for 2 seconds. It doesn't matter. That's the point of interactive audio, is that we're prepared to use that in a looping situation. Here you'll see we have multiple paths. Each path is transferred using this path changer. When that parameter goes over 1/6 of the way up, which is what I've personally set it to be, it will go on from intro music to path 1. Then path 1 will sit in this loop here until it goes up again and moves on to the bonus round. Now what changes when we do that? We have the percussion loop, which will play over path 1 and intro. When path 1 is hit, it will loop in, or layer in, the initial melody layer. Once we hit the bonus round, the percussion loop will disappear, and the bonus round layer will enter in. And that will loop, and that will loop, until we hit the path 2 new melody. That new melody brings the percussion layer back in, drops out the bonus round and the path 1 melody, and brings in here path 2 melody. And that will happen with each one, each path. Here we have 2 different stingers. Ow, oh no happens only at the beginning. The not a full tree will happen when your game character doesn't collect enough items to move on to the bonus round. When we do move on to the bonus round, again, you'll hear the path changer, which will have its own stinger denoting that you've moved on to the next path. I hope you got all of that, because it sure is a lot. So let's get started. Here we have a sustain point, which I said before. It's not really a timeline, it's more of a where we are in the interactive world. You'll notice that the music here is going to loop the melody, which is 7 measures, over the chords, which are 8 measures, over an arpeggio, which is 5 measures. And you'll never hear the same thing twice. So this can go for 30 minutes and you'll never hear the same thing. It's quite amazing. That allows you to change only 10 seconds of music into 30 minutes of music. So now we're going to enter into the game. So let's bring the game up. So this person, I found this video on YouTube. This player is just going to play this game as if they would. And I'm going to do my audio interactively based on whatever they do. So first, they bring in the game. The cue moves on to the next sustain point, which now moves on again to the transition into the game world. Now, in the movie, she's going to get hit. What do you hear?
Oh no!
Again, that stinger was brought up. We'll see that again. And now we're going to enter into our first path. So let's do that.
Merry Christmas!
Now that we're here, you'll hear the melody start playing, along with the percussion loop. The character is collecting these orbs, but they didn't have enough, which is why you heard that stinger. Once they get enough, they'll move on to the bonus round, which we're going to hear right now. And this bonus round obviously has more energy. It has dropped the initial percussion loop, brought in this loop. Now you could fly around for all 70 seconds, you could fly around for 2 seconds, you could fly around for 30 seconds. That's the interactivity of this piece of music, is that whenever this player decides that they want to finish this level, all they have to do is fly back to that home base there with the spiral top and bells on it, right there, and the game will move on to the next path once I move the path changer back up, like this.
Merry Christmas!
Now we hear the path 1 and bonus round fade away, and path 2 enter in. Now I'm going to reset the positioning here, so that way we can just watch the interactivity happen. And I'll pop in and out just to show you some cool things that are happening along the way. So what you're hearing right now is actually a different melody to a bass line and chord progression of a famous Christmas song. This is Silver Bells. Take a listen and see if you can hear it. The first path was actually Angels We Have Heard on High. This one is Silver Bells. The third one will be Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And the final piece will be Jingle Bells. Try to see if you can hear them as you go through the entire section here.
Merry Christmas!
Now that we're in this piece of music, let's actually talk about what we did with the music. Aside from it being a famous Christmas song with a different melody, we now have Christmas bells playing, we now have strings, we have oboe, we have bright synths, we have some electronic drums. This is all to increase the gameplay atmosphere of flying around in a Christmas wonderland.
Christmas.
You'll also notice that when the gameplay goes from regular flying around trying to collect enough orbs to the bonus round, the flying around to collect orbs is a swung pattern, so it feels a little bit more relaxed, and then when the bonus round enters, it goes to straight time, all lots of 16th notes, lots of action, lots of delayed synths to add in energy and excitement. Each time you move from path 1 to path 2 to path 3 to path 4, the key of the song also increases to add energy. Alright, so now we're rounding out our fourth path. That means we're going to have to end pretty soon. So how does it end? Well, we have a sustain point for this event that's looping through these percussion elements in the game world. We're going to have to activate that cue, just like we did before to transition into the game world. We're going to activate it to get out, which will end our piece.
Merry Christmas.
Now that our gameplay has ended, our music fades away, and our interactive audio project is complete. So you'll notice that from section 1 to section 2 to section 3, each piece is interactive in how it goes from one place to the next. It's a linear piece, which means it will always go from path 1 to the bonus round to path 2 to the bonus round. So it's linear in that sense, but what makes it interactive is how it goes from there. When does it happen based off of the player's gameplay? Now we could load in anybody's gameplay of this game and work these controls to match their game experience. That's why it's interactive. It's the human element, and it's quite a magical thing. So if you have any questions or any comments or any suggestions, please post it in the comments below. Like this page because everybody likes a good like. And have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. And thanks for watching. Randy Laskowski of Jingle Bell Productions. Catch you later.